For thousands of years, East Africa was not just a frontier, it was a crossroads of civilizations. Here, powerful kingdoms rose, vast trade networks thrived, and cultures blended to create some of the world's most fascinating empires. Yet today, many of these stories remain forgotten outside the region. This is the untold history of East Africa's great nations Aksum, the Swahili Coast, Great Zimbabwe, and Buganda. Long before the Middle Ages in Europe, the Kingdom of Aksum stood as one of the world's great powers, emerging around the 1st century CE in what is now Ethiopia and Eritrea. Aksum controlled trade routes that stretched across the Red Sea and deep into Africa. Aksumite merchants traded gold, ivory, and frankincense with the Roman Empire, India, and Arabia. Their ships connected Africa to the wider world, centuries before European explorers set sail. Aksum was also one of the first great empires to adopt Christianity, around 330 CE, under King Azana. This made it a beacon of faith and culture in Africa, long before most of Europe converted. But by the 7th century, new Islamic powers rose in Arabia, shifting trade routes and weakening Aksum's dominance. Eventually, the once mighty kingdom faded into legend, its obelisks and ancient churches standing as reminders of its greatness. From the 8th century onward, a new power rose along the shores of modern Kenya, Tanzania, and Mozambique, the Swahili Coast. Unlike Aksum, this was not a single empire, but a series of city-states bound together by trade. The Swahili people blended African, Arab, and Persian influences, creating a unique culture. Their cities Kilwa, Mombasa, Zanzibar became global hubs, where merchants traded gold, slaves, ivory, and spices. Swahili architecture tells this story. Grand stone mosques, coral palaces, and fortresses that still stand today. The Swahili language itself is a symbol of cultural blendia Bantu tongue, enriched with Arabic words. At Hitse, the Swahili Coast was one of the richest trading networks in the world. But in the late 1400s, the arrival of Portuguese explorers disrupted the balance. Many cities fell under European control, marking the decline of Swahili independence. Deep inland, another civilization thrived, the Kingdom of Zimbabwe, centered around the city we now call Great Zimbabwe, built between the 11th and 15th centuries. Its massive stone walls and towers stand as some of Africa's greatest architectural achievements. Great Zimbabwe controlled trade routes from the interior to the coast, dealing in gold and cattle. Its influence reached as far as the Swahili cities and beyond, making it a vital link in Africa's economic network. Yet, the city's sudden decline in the 15th century remains a mystery. Some suggest environmental collapse, others point to shifting trade routes. What is certain is that Great Zimbabwe's stone ruins still inspire awe today, proof of Africa's advanced civilizations, long before colonial powers arrived. Further north, in the heart of modern Uganda, the Kingdom of Buganda emerged around the 14th century. Unlike Aksum or Zimbabwe, Buganda did not fade quickly. It survived well into the 19th century and still exists today as a cultural kingdom. Buganda was organized under a powerful monarch, the Kabaka, supported by chiefs and a strong military. Fertile lands and Lake Victoria's resources gave the kingdom wealth, while trade with Arab and later European merchants connected it to global markets. Buganda's influence shaped much of East Africa's history during the pre-colonial and colonial periods. Though it was eventually absorbed into the British protectorate of Uganda, the traditions of Buganda still thrive today, reminding us of the deep roots of African governance and culture. Together, these kingdoms Aksum, the Swahili Coast, Great Zimbabwe, and Buganda proved that East Africa was never isolated. It was dynamic, global, and advanced, shaping the course of history long before outsiders arrived. Their legacies live on in languages, architecture, trade networks, and traditions that still influence the region today. By remembering these stories, we challenge the myth that Africa's history began with colonization. In truth, Africa was a land of empires, innovation, and resilience. The world may have forgotten these nations, but their spirit still endures. So, what other forgotten civilizations should we uncover next? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories of history.